Hi, my name is Lori Bassett. I have Adeline here today, and what are you wanting to do?
I'm looking for a kind of natural dimensional balayage.
Balayage? Okay, so she's about a natural level 7. And then did you want like the face framing highlights, more of like a money piece?
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah.
And then I wanted a root smudge.
Root smudge. So we're going to do a root smudge to kind of diminish that hard line, so when you grow out it won't be too noticeable.
Yeah.
Alright, awesome. Alright, I have her section into 6 sections. So I have a mohawk, the crown, 2 sides, and then the 2 back quadrants. So in the sides and the back, I'm going to do a balayage, and in the crown and the mohawk, I'm going to do a bit of chunkier highlights just to give her more dimension and more of a natural balayage look mixed with the bottom. I'm starting out with 20 volume mixed with the lightener on the balayage, which is the 2 sides and the back 2 quadrants of the head, just so she doesn't overprocess, because she is going to be in foils for this balayage. To start off this balayage, I am taking about a 1/4 inch section and back combing, and then I'm going to weave it and clip it back with a clip just to get all those little hairs out of the way. The weaving helps with getting a better blend along with the back combing, and then I am processing her in foils just to get a more even lift throughout. I'm also going to be alternating, bringing that balayage up a little higher in some pieces and then a little bit lower in others, just so she doesn't get a blocky look at the end, so it's more blended and more natural looking. As you can see, I'm feathering up my lightener on the outside corners, kind of to create a V, just to also help with that blending. And then I am also feathering up the middle part of that too, just to make sure it's all blended. I am also not leaving out hair between sections, because I am weaving out pieces already that'll already give her the dimension that she wants, and then the brightness that she also wants at the ends. I'm also going through and using 2 foils. I'm doing one on the bottom and one on the top. I do not want to fold my foils just because I don't want to get any lines in her hair. I will be repeating this same balayage technique on both back quadrants and then the two sides. I am mixing up 30 volume for the crown and the mohawk sections of the head, just to even out the processing time with the balayage on the bottom. So we are giving my client a money piece, just to be a little bit brighter around the face. She didn't want it as noticeable, so we're just going to do it a little bit smaller. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to do 2 slices back to back and then a weave to blend back into my other thicker weaves that I'm having in there. I'm also folding my furrows on the sides, even with this section, just so I don't get any slippage. As you notice, when I'm doing these highlights, I'm not starting all the way up at the root. I'm feathering it up so she doesn't have any hard lines. For these highlights that I did in her crown and her mohawk section, I am taking a little bit thicker weaves, just to give her a more natural balayage look and not so much of highlights up top. Here we're rinsing out that lightener before we go through and tone. We are going to use a 7A on her roots just to give her kind of a base bump, because she's not a client that comes in and gets her hair done very often, so she wants to have this last as long as she can. On her ends, I am going to be toning her with an SV Rapid Toner just to get an all over, even, ashy tone. So for her toning, what we actually did was we went through with a 7 and A about 1/4 of an inch down on her roots just to give her kind of a base bump, and then put the SV Rapid Toner all over her ends. Here I'm using the KENRA Brightening Shampoo and Conditioner to keep her hair toned and cool after rinsing that toner out. Prior to drying, I am using the KENRA Blow Dry Spray. It's the Platinum line, just to protect her hair and speed up her drying time. So I went through and just kind of trimmed off about 1/4 of an inch from her ends, just dusting them off. And then what I'm doing now is I'm surface cutting her, so kind of getting those split ends that are going throughout the middle. And then I'm going to go through and point cut her just to give her a little bit of layering. Here I'm going in with the KENRA Platinum Hot Spray. So it's a heat protectant, and then it's also going to give me a medium hold while I curl her hair. To finish her off before brushing, I am going to spray her with the KENRA Dry Oil Control Spray. This kind of eliminates frizz, because you're going to get frizz when you're brushing through curls, and it also gives it that extra hold.